welcome to episode 4 of the Wham Bam.
Wham Bam!
I'm one of your hosts, Brayden Curtis, and to my right we have the truly radiant Grant Garcia-Rojas.
I don't know what just happened.
You coughed on my armpit.
Sorry.
To his right we have Matt Sagisi.
Yeah, I can't survive another one of those.
And lastly, Andy Cheadle.
What's up?
If you didn't know, this is our weekly comedy podcast. If you would like to see us in video form, you can subscribe to us on youtube.com/StacheTag.
That's one.
We will be uploading each topic individually. And
That's
if you
right.
do not want to see our beautiful faces,
Why would you not want to see that, though?
yeah, exactly. You can subscribe to us on podcast streaming services such as iTunes, SoundCloud. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
it.
That's only two.
That's all we got for you. That's all we got for you right now. We'll work on it, I promise.
Man, our camera's sad.
I know. Okay, so you
I like it.
if you watch it on video, you're not going to see this, but just know that what you're watching it through right now is my iPhone duct taped to a tripod.
Nah, blue painter tape.
Exactly. We couldn't even get regular duct tape for this. Blue painters taped to a tripod.
Andy is an artist.
Because Andy is an artist.
It's truly a work of art.
Mm-hmm. Precisely. It is the jankiest thing I've seen all day. But let's get this popping.
No,
Matt, you want to start us off? I know you've been passionate about your topic.
Love to. So, the other week, after we recorded last time, I was going along, and I personally have some trouble navigating conversations with people sometimes if I don't immediately have something like to talk about them or to talk to them about.
Oh, like this?
Yeah, exactly. Like this is good practice for that, I think. But like if it's out in the wild, I'm kind of terrible sometimes. Like, so I was talking to this one guy who's a friend of mine. His name's Tanner, and I had just seen a dance show that he was in, and I saw him backstage, and he was like, "Oh man, like, hey Matt, what's up?" I'm like, "Oh, hey Tanner, how you doing?" Gave him a hug, and then there was that really awkward like 2 seconds of silence where neither of us is saying anything, and I was just kind of like, in my mind, I was like, "Oh God, quick, come on, say something, anything," and I was like, "Oh, you got 2 more of those in you?"
Wait, was that still during the hug?
No, that was after the hug. That was
okay.
Embrace, good, separate, and then stare.
I thought it was just the awkward linger.
No, God, no. The hug was like a quick, like little pat, and that was done.
Yeah.
But then I didn't know where to go from there. And he had 2 more shows, and so I was like, "Oh, you got 2 more of those in you?"
Oh, I thought you meant 2 more hugs.
Yeah.
Oh,
got
see,
2 more
I
hugs?
think he thought that too. So he was like, "Yes," and he kind of like sort of put his arms out. And I was like, "No, I mean, goodbye." And then I left. I full on Irish goodbye to him, and it was really awkward. And that happens to me a lot, and that kind of got me thinking about like other awkward things that have happened to me in my life. And there's judging back through all of them, there's a lot. And so I was wondering if you guys had any good awkward stories from your past, because I got plenty. If no one has any, or no one's man enough to say it, Andy.
I mean, it's not super bad, but I have this problem where like when the lights turn off, like my vision gets really bad. Like that contrast when like you have to adjust to the dark, like mine takes forever. And we were in class and we were showing off our movies, and I'm about to sit down and the lights turn off and it's just black, and I'm like, "Oh God!" I'm trying to sit down and I'm reaching out to try to find desks, and I trip over one and I accidentally touch my friend John's face, and he just starts laughing at me. But that reminded me of a trip to Disneyland where there was like a cave, in like the Davy Crockett Island, or
I don't like where a
Tom
story
Sawyer
from
Island.
Disneyland could come from darkness and face touching.
No, you go in this cave, and like it was really bright outside when going. It's like pitch dark, and I can't see anything. Like my friend's gone, and I see this weird formation on the wall. I'm like, "What is that?" And I like get right up in it, and like as my eyes adjust, there's just like this confused Asian man looking back at me.
Oh,
Yeah, it was like, "Oh, hello."
excuse me.
The formation was just his face?
Yeah,
Oh.
it was just I thought it was just like something in the rock or like a drawing.
You
on
think it was part of the ride?
I couldn't tell what it was, so then I just like booked it out of there as fast as I could.
Wait, what ride was this at Disneyland?
It wasn't a ride. It was just like, how they have like those cool landmarks you can walk through. It was just like it was just like a random
so it wasn't
cave.
even a ride.
No,
So it's even worse. You just stare at this poor Asian man.
all confused, getting up in his face, trying to figure out what he is.
You just see him just like, "I'm never going back."
Never.
Maybe you were young. And
That
never
was the
seen-
last time.
You've never seen an Asian guy before. You know?
Yeah,
It's
I
kinda
mean,
confusing.
yeah, at 21, it's kind of sad, but
Yeah.
it's possible.
I was picturing like a child. You're
Oh,
So this
no,
was
it's-
like last week.
No, this was like a year or two ago.
This is so recent. Why didn't this man say anything to
I
you?
don't know.
If I were that man, and like some like 21-year-old guy slowly creeps up at me with this weird, intense stare, like, yo, come on, or like, I'd hit you at some point.
What if he had like the same problem and his eyes were adjusting too?
You guys gotta meet
Something's
in the
coming.
middle. And you guys kiss. And you kiss under the Disneyland bridge. I'm pretty sure that means you're married.
Yeah, we share that moment. I'm like, you got 2 more in you?
Maybe he hangs out there for just that reason. Because people seem kind of lost, and then they just end up kissing everybody that comes through.
Oh, hello. You come here often? Was he with family or was it just one lone Asian man?
His family was probably there, but at that moment, it was just him.
Then why was he just in a cave by himself?
I don't
What if
know.
he had like a whole like a bunch of kids around him, like holding his hands, and they're just like, "Dad, I'm scared."
I wish somebody would have done something like that so I wouldn't get that close to him.
Be brave, kids.
Dude, it'd have been great if there was like one of those like face capturing cameras that was like going like frame by frame.
Oh, God.
I'm surprised you say you're bad at talking to people. You always seem to have like stuff to talk about.
Well,
Yeah, you're Mr. Chatterbox.
Well, that's when I know people though. Like with you guys, it's natural because we're friends, right? But like if I'm like just meeting somebody, I think this happens with a lot of people. I hope anyway, so I'm not like weird. But there's just, for me personally, there's like this weird like grace period where like I don't really know what to talk about with them, just because like I make jokes and things like that, but like I don't really know like where their threshold is for what's funny. Like, because sometimes my jokes are kind of dumb and like stupid or whatever, and like people laugh at them when they know me, because like, oh, he's dumb or whatever. But like if I make a joke at somebody and they don't really know who I am yet, they'll probably be like, what? Like, why? What does that even mean? And so like I don't want that to happen, so I try to just talk regularly, but that is still weird for me, because I'm like, what's regular? Like, what? Good morning. So, I don't.
Yeah.
What's regular for me? I don't know.
I don't want to like offend people sometimes. When
Exactly.
I talk to them.
Me too.
Right.
Like so here's another kind of this wasn't embarrassing. I thought this was funny. But so I was at my girlfriend's house
Ooh,
back
Mr.
home.
Girlfriend.
Ooh, yeah. And I was talking with her mom, and
Ooh, Mom.
Armando, what? Armando.
no, there's no Armandos here. But I was just talking with her mother, and
Ooh.
why is you oohing? That's not. What are you doing to me?
She sounds hot.
Stop! What? God, this is so See, this is why it would get weird. This is why it would get weird talking to people. But
You think that's their response they would give to you?
I don't know. See, exactly. This is what's weird about it.
You go up to somebody, you're like, "So I was visiting my girlfriend's mom," and they're like, "Ooh, she's hot." Like immediately.
What? That just happened now, and I didn't know how to deal with it. So what happened in real life, I wouldn't know what to do with it
You
either.
think a total stranger that you're meeting for the first time would do that?
Yeah.
I hope not, because I just established I don't know how to handle when people do that to me. But I'm talking to her, and I think she is also really funny, and she tries to make things uncomfortable. And so she's like, "Oh, hey, Matt, so how many kids do you want later?" And I'm like, I don't even really have an answer for that one right now, ma'am. And of course, my girlfriend chimes in, because she has had this planned out for years, because she's a girl and that's what they do. And then she was talking about it evolved into like discipline of your children, right? And as a joke, I was like, "Yep, my kids are gonna fear my backhand." And I make that joke a lot to my girlfriend, who has since stopped laughing at it, but her mother looked just astonished at me. She's like, and like she didn't say anything, but like I could tell there was that like second like glint in her eye of like, my daughter's gonna leave this man. Like, there's no way I'm letting him into our family, kind of thing.
Well, see, it's because the first time everybody's like, "Oh, okay, he's kind of joking," but you say it every day. It's like,
As soon as you wake up, you look at Andy and you're like, "My kids, man."
Little Matt Jr. Come here, boy. What are you doing? Put down that TV.
The cool thing is, though, he doesn't actually hit them. He just claps with his backhand, and it startles them so much that they behave.
Exactly. It's like slapping the belt together. You know what I mean? You clap, and then they just behave for a little while. But I got an embarrassing story. So this is the one that I thought of after the weird conversation happened. So this happened back in high school. Oh, God, this is so bad. So I got invited to this one girl's birthday. Her name was Victoria. And it was a normal birthday, you know, just at her house, and we were playing games. And there was this one game we played where it was like a relay race, and you had this water balloon, and you had a partner, and you had to like give them the water balloon and then like run around them, and they gave you back the water balloon, but you couldn't use your hands. So you had to like put it under your chin, and like they like, you know, get pass it to them, and they catch it with their chin, and so on and so forth. And that was fun. But after the game, the birthday girl, Victoria, she like ran up to me, and like she had one of the water balloons, and she tried to like pop it on me, tried to like squeeze it, and like, you know, so it would get me all wet. And I saw, I'm like, oh, hell no. And we're joking, right? And so we're like wrestle this water balloon, and I get it from her, and I'm like significantly taller than her, so I can just do the thing where I hold it up in the air and she can't get it. And then she's like trying to get the water balloon from me, and I'm decided to just toss it straight up in the air, right? And I chuck this thing like crazy high, right? And I'm watching it, and as it's coming down, I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna headbutt this water balloon. I'm gonna headbutt the shit out of this water balloon. So it's like falling down, right? And I'm like, you know, a little bit behind it, so it's gonna fall like right in front of me. And so I cock back, right? Like I wind up for this headbutt, and it's coming down, and I can see it, and it's like in slow motion. And then I unload, and I start going for it. But like I said, it's a little bit in front of me, so it's not gonna land directly on me. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of falling down, and I like miss it. But instead of stopping and aborting the headbutt, I'm like, nope, gotta see this through. And so I follow the water balloon, right? And as I mentioned, she's shorter than me, and she's standing directly in front of me. And so the water balloon passes directly between us, and I headbutt her so hard, you guys. Like it was like, you know, in like action movies or like comic books when like a superhero like punches somebody so hard that the wall behind them gets like their fist imprinted on it. I basically did that to her. Like I headbutted her to a point where like I didn't feel anything. All of my kinetic energy and force went directly into her, and she like flew back onto the ground.
Was she okay?
Where did you hit her? Like in her
square in the head. Like it was forehead to forehead contact. And it wasn't like I grazed her. This was like a full on right on her face. And she boom gets laid out. And she's lying there, and she doesn't immediately move. And I'm like, oh my God. And the worst part was that I headbutted her so hard that the clap, the thunderous like poof that our heads made could be heard by everybody. And we were in the dead center of her backyard, surrounded by her friends and family. And it was, I kid you not, like classic romantic comedy, like awkward moment silence. Like I look up, and I'm just, everyone's eyes are wide, and I kind of look around, and like the record scratched, like music stopped, dead quiet. And there's all these eyes and people with their mouths open, like, and I'm like, oh my God.
You killed.
What do I do? What do I do?
Happy birthday.
And I look over at her father, who is this huge black man. And this made me feel not better, but like I wasn't going to die, because he started laughing his ass off. So I'm like, okay, he's not going to kill me.
And then you looked at her mom.
But like, I'm looking at all these stunned faces, and I'm like, oh my God, Victoria, are you okay? And she's kind of like rolling on the ground, like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm okay. And like, I help her up. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Do you need some water? Do you need anything? No, I'm okay. I'm good. I'm okay. I need to sit down for just a second. And so like, yeah, it's okay. And again, no one's talking still. This is all just me and her talking. I walk over to the table, and I sit her down. Everyone's still looking, and I'm like, I'm gonna get you some water. And I run away, and I just hide. I hide in the garage. Like there was this little crevice like between like this cabinet and the fridge. I just kind of like squeezed in there for a second, and I'm like, oh god, what do I do? How do I can't go back out there. I can't go back out there. And like I eventually like muster up and I walk back out, and everyone's kind of like, you know, dispersed. Everyone's kind of talking amongst themselves again, and I'm like, okay, I think this is all right. And so I sit back down and I start talking to people. But then I notice that like Victoria is not. I don't see her anywhere, and so I get a little bit concerned, and I'm like, oh, I think I should go looking. And so I walk out into her front yard, and she is like by her front door, away from the party, like arm up against the wall, slowly rocking back and forth, like trying to keep her balance. I'm like, oh my god, come on, I'm so sorry. And I walk up, I'm like, Victoria, are you sure you're okay? Meanwhile, I'm fine. Like nothing happened to me. I didn't even feel like I got hit, which scared me even more because, like I said, that means I think all my force just went to her. Like there was no Newton's law just negated itself. That's how hard I hit her. Like there was no equal and opposite reaction. It was all forward. And she's like, "No, Matt. I swear I'm okay. I didn't want to. I don't know how she meant to like make me feel better with this, but she's like, I just didn't want to like pass out back there or anything." I'm like, "Yeah, okay. That's great. Okay, as long as you're okay." And then I walked back. And then I was like, I can't stay here. And then I called my parents, and they came and picked me up, and we left. I couldn't stay there.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it was bad.
I'm looking at you. I hate that feeling. That happened to me like this week.
You headbutted somebody on your birthday?
Like the feeling where everybody looks at you in like the whole room, and they're just like, oh, this person. Like I was in my improv class, hadn't started yet, and Mike and I had walked in, and for some reason there was like a cross in the back with like chairs around it, but it said like, do not touch. And I was like, I'm gonna take a picture on this cross. I'm gonna look like I'm like crucified. And so Mike has the camera.
And then you got struck by lightning.
Mike gets the camera ready, and I get like 2 chairs on it, so I'm not like touching it technically, and I'm kind of like hanging on it. And right before he takes the picture, this girl like bursts in the door like, "What are you doing? It says do not touch. Why are you touching other people's stuff?" And she just starts going on like really loud in front of everybody, and everyone's like,
I'll kill you!
and this other guy comes in, and he's like, "What are they doing to our stuff?" And she's like, "He was touching our stuff." And I'm like, "Oh no!"
Hey, yo, Joey, get in here! Someone's touching our stuff.
And I just kind of like wander off into this like black curtain to cover myself. And I'm just like, no one look at me. I'm just waiting for her to leave. It's terrible.
Oh, what was it? Do we know what that was for?
Turned out it was actually a ship sail. They were gonna hang like curtains from it.
Oh, okay. I pictured like a literal like crucifix.
I thought it was, and then she was like, "That's our sail," and I was like, "Oh, okay." I can
Oh, okay, good. I'm not. It's not blasphemy now. It's fine.
I mean, it was when I was doing it, but
You're just pretending to be a sail.
yeah, it was a sail.
You were that like mermaid that's at the front of every boat going like, oh.
Yeah.
But it was more like.
Yeah, but this was your first rodeo. You didn't quite have it down yet.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is how I do it, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just kinda sleep
On the
in
sail?
front.
You just seen Titanic and you're like, oh yeah, this is what she looked like, right? This is what Kate Winslet did in that
She's
scene.
Sleeping, whatever, you know.
Yeah, it was fine.
I can definitely think of an awkward time for me to like be talking to someone was I went on a Tinder date in like 2 years ago.
Oh
boy.
damn, let's hear it. I love
And
these.
I drove all the way up to LA, and it was like in Hollywood, and I went to this restaurant and met this girl, and I really like didn't know what to say at all, and I'm just kind of standing there really awkwardly, and it was like you go up to a counter to order, and I'm just kind of like, hey, like, how you doing? And she was like mostly doing all the talking. She seemed like really comfortable, and she was like, she could definitely tell I was nervous. She was looking at me like, oh shoot, and I'm just like, just kind of like, and then out of nowhere, I fall backwards into a rack of like stuff to buy of chocolate, just like boxes of chocolate, and I fall backwards. I fall backwards into this rack of chocolate, and all the boxes fall down on top of me.
Oh, shut up.
All of them are all over the floor, and I just go, oh, and I like catch myself on the rack and like stand back up, and the girl's just like, oh my god, and she starts putting all the chocolate like back on there, and
And then a
everyone at the
waitress comes and
restaurant's
slips
looking
and
at me.
pours her food on somebody, and they stand.
No, you should have been there like in the pile of chocolates and just be like, I got these for you.
Yeah. I wanted these. I wanted to give you these chocolates.
Turn into a goddamn Mr. Bean cartoon.
But it was, Yeah, that was really embarrassing.
Oh, that's so good. I hope you actually it led with that that awkward noise you just made now. You're like, oh god. And this lady's like, oh god.
Did it go well after that though?
Yeah, everything else was fine after that, you know?
Yeah.
I guess
had to get
the
that-
worst comes to worst.
Get those jitters out.
I think after that you had nothing to lose.
Then we saw Think Like a Man 2 or something? I don't know.
Ooh.
At what's that theater?
Dark light.
Yeah, the ArcLight, and they always introduce their movies before, and the guy's like, "Hi, thanks for coming. You can watch Walk Like a Man, whatever."
They introduced their movies before.
Yeah, because it's usually like an art theater, and they go out there and like say a little bit about it. But it was like this was Think Like a Man 2, some I don't know Kevin Hart comedy, and the guy totally butchers the name. He goes, "This is
Adele Dazeem.
yeah, this is, Walk Like a Man." Okay, bye.
Everyone,
Does
thank you
everyone-
for coming to our local screening of Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Please enjoy the show.
Everybody know what movie they're about to see?
Yeah,
Like they paid for the ticket.
Oh shit, I thought this was a Dark Knight.
Dude, what if theaters had like a shuffle button though? You just get a random ticket.
That'd be sweet. Yeah, actually, no, it wouldn't. No.
That'd be kind of fun.
God
though.
damn it, I got the Smurfs 2 again. Sorry, baby, let's go. It was $15.
for some reason they always get the Smurfs. There's so many movies, and they're like Smurfs.
Hasn't even been in the theaters for 2 years, and they're still getting it.
Oh my goodness gracious. I think yeah, I'm sorry, Grant. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, it is. It's very embarrassing. And I guess do you want to end this one soon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Might as well.
to-
Hold up, no, these guys can't get off the Andy, what's your embarrassing story? You can't get off the hook that easy.
I don't know. Like I know I have a lot, but like I can't. It's like when I try to think of them, like just like out. What am I trying to say?
All right,
Oh,
all right, you've made your point.
Like
You've made your point.
you block them out, right?
Maybe that's it.
Because like that's how it was for mine. Like I didn't remember that one at all until it happened again at school. So it has to be like it's like Vietnam flashbacks.
Get PTSD.
Yeah.
Well, Brayden just reminded me. He was like the truly radiant Grant, and then that reminded me of freshman year of college. I had an interview.
I accidentally set this girl on fire.
I poured chocolate all over and lit her on fire. I had a job interview at Best Buy when I was like 18. And I go in there, and the guy's asking me questions, whatever. And then he gets to this one question. It's like, what's one word you would use to describe yourself? And I'm just like,
Sexy.
and the first thing that comes to my mind is radiant. And I'm just like, and I just go, radiant. And the guy starts laughing really hard. And I did not get the job.
Damn it.
Oh, yeah,
I'd
that,
have hired you on the spot. Like, this guy sounds funny.
yeah, that's why I use that. That's like my favorite story from
Yeah,
you.
That's terrible. That's so sad.
I think the only other word you could have said that would have gotten you hired on the spot would have been tech savvy.
Yeah.
Or hired.
Oh my goodness, that's so good.
Yeah.
I love that.
All right. But, okay. So I thought of one, but like I think it's just
boy.
like I don't know. I can't think of them on the fly. Like
That's
but
okay.
That's why I always need someone else to tell me an embarrassing story about myself, because then it happens. Okay.
All right.
So the one I remember was it was at my junior college, and it was a life drawing class, and this was like a critique day. Everyone's gonna put up like their best work, and just show it to the class, and everyone's gonna be like, "Ooh, yours is really good," and "Hey, you really suck," and that just that kind of stuff,
You allowed to
Yeah.
say that?
I mean, yeah, it's an art class. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, you got to critique during critiques.
You got to weed out the shitty ones.
Yeah, I was one of those.
Of like the,
Oh no.
oh, you're not one of the guys that that got the two different colored squares like right next to each other on a white canvas, are you?
Nah.
'Cause I don't like those guys.
No, it was just a can of tomato sauce.
This is life drawing. Yeah. I don't know. I missed the prompt or something. Okay, but like, so it was critique day, and everyone was just kind of like getting their stuff ready. I don't know why we had like another like 30 minutes before we put stuff up. So I don't know what we were doing. I forget. But I was just there, and like I had my pieces, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna choose these ones. It's like, and one of them I was like, you know what? I feel like kind of blending the background. Because it's like, it's like, I don't think it's going to take anything away from it and just kind of make it look a little cleaner. It's like, all right. So I reach in my backpack, I pull out like this little cloth. And like the first stroke I do, all of a sudden it just smears black. And I was using like a red charcoal kind of thing for the actual thing, and then it just smears black. I'm like, oh shoot! And then the rag is like really really freaking dirty. I'm like, oh shoot! Oh okay.
Oh god, quick, save it, save it.
No, that's what it was. It was like, I can make this work. So I go and I start doing it in like these like design and
Yeah,
to get,
man,
like,
that's right.
like flow and like movement into it in motion. And I'm like blurring it in and like doing all this and trying to make it look cool. And then the class was pretty loud. Just behind me, like across the classroom, I just hear, Andy, what are you doing? Class goes silent. Everybody looks at me. And then like I turn and the teacher is just like eyeballing me. And I'm like, I guess I had nothing. It's like, I'm doing something wrong. And she just comes over and is like, why are you doing that? And I was like,
that was worth $10,000, man. That's not your piece, Andy. That's an 18th century Picasso. I don't even know if he was alive then.
It's not your art anymore.
You'll never work in this town again.
Wait, 18th century?
It's so rare that he wasn't alive when he made it, Andy.
It was his previous life, man.
You know he was alive in the early 1900s.
Like I said, previous life.
Wait, in his previous life, he was also an artist?
Yeah,
Yes,
man, he's a
Andy.
very...
Oh, that's how the masters become masters.
Exactly, and you ruined it. I'm sorry, keep going.
Yeah. So she's like looking at me,
Like you're
like,
about to
why?
cry. Please continue.
I was being so mean to my friend. I'm sorry.
She looks at us, he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I was just trying to like just blend the background, and the cloth was dirty, so I just tried to make it work. And she was like, no! And she came over, takes it out of my hand, and throws it on the table. Meanwhile, everyone is still looking right at me. And then finally she's just like, don't do that. And then she walks away. And everyone keeps looking at me. It's like, what the? You just called me out in front of the whole class. Like, what the hell?
Throw it in the garbage.
I feel like that's uncalled for, though.
Throw it in the
was.
garbage.
And it's like, I wasn't even proud of the art piece. It was just the best one I had, but it still sucked. And I was like, dude, I'm already embarrassed to put this up as it is. And now it's like, screw you.
Oh, maybe he thought you were like cheating. Like you submitted it and you're like, oh wait, let me finish this painting before everybody comes and judges it.
I don't feel like I deserved it.
How does a teacher of art like say somebody's art isn't good? Because isn't art like subjective? You can't just be like, that's bad.
Well, I don't
was
know if she was
art.
really saying it was bad. She was saying what I was doing to it after the fact was bad.
Oh,
And
you
it's just-
ruined your art.
But then on some level, it's like, this is still mine. I can do whatever I want to it. I should have just crumpled it. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, throw it in the garbage.
Yeah, make a statement.
That'll show her.
That would have been. Or I should just crumpled it, uncrumpled it, then put it back up. This is what I wanted.
Yeah,
There we
Yeah,
go.
because
Argument.
you're so dark and twisted on the inside.
Brooding.
In my makeup class, my teacher was saying she used to have a teacher in college. She's like 70 now, but she was like, in college, I had a teacher who would like burn our work if he hated it.
What?
And she was like, I don't know how anybody could do that, like burn our work. And I was like, yeah, I'm really glad you don't do that to our faces. She just like, your makeup's terrible.
She only uses flammable oil-based face paints.
That'd be sweet.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious.